All right, and we're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you for joining us tonight. My name is Miles Fiacher. I'm the Assistant Director of Pre-Orientation and Operations, and I have some colleagues here with me that will be talking about the sophomore experience, particularly two of the LLCs on campus, that being Globe and AU Compass, which helps students explore career passions, connect with peers, and engage deeply with campus and global experiences. Without further ado, New Student and Family Programs would like to thank you for joining us, but I'll hand it over to Ashley and her team to go through their presentation.
Hello, everyone. I am so appreciative that you decided to spend your afternoon with us today learning about how you or your student can get more out of their sophomore year. Today, we're going to be talking through some amazing opportunities to allow for your student to engage with experiential learning in their sophomore year while living on campus. So we'll do some team introductions, go over the programs, explain why you would join such programs that we have to offer, and then definitely give you some tips and tools on how to reserve your spot today. So I wanted to introduce ourselves. My name again is Ashley Owens. I currently serve as the Assistant Director for Academic LLCs. So in my role, I help supporting our first year living learning communities. So that's University College and the add-on program of AU Cornerstone, and our sophomore communities through supporting our team, in which I'm actually going to pass it over now to Kirsten to introduce herself.
Hi, everybody. My name's Kirsten. I'm the coordinator for academic LLCs here on AU's campus. I typically support University College, but I also support sophomore living learning communities like AU G.L.O.B.E and AU Compass. So it's nice to chat with some people, get them excited about some of the programs that we have available. I'm going to pass it over to Michelle.
Hi everyone, my name is Michelle Lansigan and I am the faculty liaison for AU Compass. I also teach in the chemistry department, but I've been handling the AU Compass lab experience since last year and I'm happy to organize it again for our next batch of students.
Thank you, team. So a little bit about what the living learning communities are. If you have not had the opportunity to experience living learning communities, I do want to shed some light on a little bit about what they are and what we do with them. So here at AU, we truly believe in the value of experiential learning. So that is bringing learning and the academic world to life inside and outside of the classroom. So with the living learning communities, they have immersive opportunities to explore DC. They have opportunities to explore the topics in which they are learning about in the classroom, in exploration opportunities like going on excursions, like shadowing, like tapping into what the community of DC has to offer, and also what the other aspects of our campus have to offer. So typically within living learning communities, data has shown that the benefits of having an opportunity to live in a living learning community is additional academic support. So we tap into both the opportunities of what our staff has to offer. We make sure we're providing additional support, additional connections to resources on campus, a stronger sense of community. So given that you are living and learning with interested students who have similar values, interests, and likeness with each other. So that is a built-in community that you have built over from your first year to your second year. Increased engagement, we've noticed that students who are involved in living learning communities are more likely to get engaged and connected to campus and to each other. And then leading to higher retention and success rates academically and personally. Because we don't just focus on the student, we focus on developing the person and the student, that holistic, well-rounded development that both of these programs truly help cultivate. And then additionally, just more collaboration and peer learning. You're going to learn from each other. There are peer students who have been right in your shoes before, and can be able to tap and pour into you that way, by engaging with you in the classroom and outside of the classroom. So academic LLCs at AU have a very long-standing history. Here are just some of the snapshots of what LLCs and how wide our LLCs have gone in this institution. So just highlighting two of the sophomore opportunities, and given the second year live-in requirement, we definitely wanted to provide opportunities for our students who are living on campus to have extra opportunities to broaden their horizons, whether that's exploring careers and what career paths and academic career paths have for you, or exploring our global opportunities, language opportunities, and ways in which that you can move forward by becoming a better global citizen. So with that being said, I'm going to explain a little bit more about what the residential experience looks like for both programs, and then we're going to individually tap on and tap into each of the programs that we have to offer. So for both Globe and AU Compass, students will live together on the same floor in Leonard Hall. It is a wonderful hall for our sophomore students. So through the academic year, so it's a full year program. So from 2026 to 2027, by deciding to live in our programs, you will live on the same floor with students who are additionally in those programs. And you will have the opportunity to room with other people in those programs as well. So there are both program leaders, and program leaders are that peer support I was mentioning earlier. So there are students that we've hired to directly support these smaller groups of cohorts that will provide academic support inside of the classroom spaces or inside of the experiential learning opportunities that are inside the classroom and outside of the classroom. So planning additional opportunities, excursions, events, etc. And then in deep collaboration with the RAs. So RAs are that peer support, advocacy, mentorship people on the residence hall. So they live in the residence hall, they partner with the program leader to make sure that you are also having a really exponential residential experience. I will say if accommodations are needed, definitely feel free to let our team know, but also emailing housing@american.edu. So exceptions to not live with the programs directly can be made as long as you are communicating in advance. But definitely wanted to share a little bit about what that residential experience looks like. It looks the same for both AU Compass and for Globe as you're deciding what programs you're interested in. So I'm actually going to pass things over to Dr. Lance again so that they can kind of talk a little bit more about AU Compass.
Thank you, Ashley. So, what exactly is AU Compass? AU Compass is AU Sophomore Living and Learning Community designed to support students during one of the most pivotal years of their college experience. So, Ashley, if you can move to the next slide. So, sophomore year often brings increased academic expectations. So they just finished their first year at AU, and then they have adjusted already. But this is a year for them to have major exploration, maybe career planning, and maybe questions about who they are, purpose, and everything like that. So AU Compass provides a structured, supportive environment where students can navigate these challenges with confidence. So as you can see here, we have time for focused exploration alongside a supportive network of peers, faculty, and staff. So why join AU Compass? So this program promotes independence, self-reflection, proactive planning, skills that serve students long after their sophomore years. So if you go to the next slide, Ashley. Thank you. So students here, they participate in co-curricular events. And I just would like to mention that within this program, students take a lab experience where they take it for a 0 or 1 credit, and that helps them to clarify their academic and career paths, build essential professional skills, and connect classroom to real world experiences. So in this program, students participate in co-curricular activities. We have museum visits, we have career panels, we have engagement opportunities. We also explore Washington, D.C., which is, at our fingertips. And that just broaden their perspectives and deepen their sense of belonging within campus. So AU also provides a strong community. So I'm there who really tries to get them to get to know them personally. We have a program leader who supports their academic journey, and we have a cohort of peers who share similar goals and challenges with them. So this is again, as I mentioned, a structured and supportive environment. We meet every other week for this class, and here students just participate in workshops. We have some in we have mock interview sessions, for example. They answer surveys that allow them to see what their values are, their identities are, and so on. And we also have a lot of off-campus experiences. So, for example, we visit the DC Central Kitchen where students volunteer to prepare food. We go around AU and go to an AU sustainability tour. We explore museums. We go around and we try to connect what we learn in the classroom to the outside experiences. So, in short, AU Compass helps the students feel essentially more grounded, more connected, and prepared for what comes next, whether it's them choosing a major, seeking internships, or simply finding their place at AU. And I'm going to pass it on to Kirsten.
Alrighty, friends. Just as a quick reiteration, my name's Kirsten and I support Sophomore Living Learning Community. So I'm jumping in to talk a little bit more specifically about GLOBE, which is Global Learning Opportunities Beyond Borders and Exploration. So what is GLOBE? The overall designation for GLOBE is to provide a residential community that will hopefully create more transformative experiences where students can more impactfully connect with each other over culture and language acquisition. It is a very exciting and very new opportunity. It is currently in its pilot year, and we are learning a lot about what the students actually want from this overall experience and are able to make these adjustments accordingly. So wanting to reiterate the point that those things are important. We are supported by a wonderful team with the World Languages and Cultures Department. We have Gorky Cruz, who's the director for the CLEAR office, Brenda Worth, who is an associate professor, and Hee Young Shin, who is works in a similar capacity to Michelle. Unfortunately, the staff was unable to make it because they are busy bees who are actually currently teaching their classes right now. But wanting to further emphasize that this group of people are very enthusiastic and are very focused on the student experience, and we are trying to make sure that we are creating those opportunities for further cultural integration that students might think or pass over while they're here at AU. So in terms of things that we're really trying to develop, we set these certain learning outcomes. So we're focusing primarily on culture immersion, making sure that students feel engaged with their community, emphasizing those experiential learning opportunities, overall language development, and leadership exploration. So we're really trying to hit all of these points by creating opportunities for students to come together in these spaces very uniquely. So a little bit about what that academic experience looks like in terms of expectations that we have of our students. Some requirements are that students have to be a sophomore, and in this particular case, students aren't required to take a class together in the same way they are for Compass, but are asked to be taking either a linguistics, language, or translation course in the World Language and Cultures Department. Really, that's just to make sure that there is some sort of grounding component for the academic basis. Really, where this program thrives is those co-curricular opportunities that we are providing. So we have direct contact with CLEAR, evidenced by our relationship with Gorky, but our CLEAR office specifically emphasizes one-on-one language coaching, opportunities for group practice and translation workshops. We are also working to further develop a completion of a global literacy certification, spearheaded by Professor Shin. We are also working very hard to find other opportunities with additional partnerships with the Study Abroad office as well as the international students. So really we're gearing up and being as responsive as possible for the student experience. Which is great segue. So here we are featuring some of the really awesome co-curriculars that we have run in the past semester. So if you see on the far left and on the right, those are two community dinner opportunities that we've created for students. Once a month, we've designated a specific language area and invited professors who teach within that language basis to set up community dinners. On the far left, that is our French Moroccan event. A lot of the professors here are from Morocco, but teach French, and so we kind of did a fusion situation. On the far right, we had a Korean dinner where we had students make kimbap. And then a little bit more on those academic experiences that are setting up for our students. In the middle, we had a visit to the Korean embassy where students got to dress up in traditional Korean dress, also referred to it as hanbok. But it was really exciting to see all of these opportunities for students to interact and actively engage with culture. And so we're really, really excited to see what the rest of the semester and next have to bring.
Alrighty, so a little bit about our timeline and how you can reserve your spot with our programs. So right now we are in the reservation process. You can, we'll drop the link into the chat in just a moment for you to fill out the reservation form or talk it over with your child. Students can reserve their spots in the program up until February 1st. And then once the housing application opens for the next upcoming year for returning students, we'll ask that students are reiterating in their housing application that they have decided to live and learn with our program by checking the box that they are in either AU Globe or AU Compass. And then you'll go through the room selection process and we'll walk with you every section of the way. So students will be selecting rooms that are on the LLC floors in Leonard once they have confirmed with our program. And then a really, really fun part is we get to allow for you all to meet each other before the end of the year so that you can get excited and get geared up for what our program has to offer in the fall semester. So with that being said, this is how you can reserve your spot today. Feel free to scan the QR code and we'll drop it into the chat as well for you to be able to reserve your spot. But we'll definitely open up the floor right now for questions if you all have any questions about the program.
Thank you, Ashley, Kristen, and Michelle. So if you have any questions, just go ahead and put them in the chat and we can put them before the group to answer them. All right. Seeing that it seems that there's no questions. Oh, we got one just as I said that. Someone asked, how are these different from colleges in the freshman year?
I'm assuming we're meaning maybe LLCs in the freshman year. So feel free to drop a clarification if I've got it wrong. But in the freshman year, we do have University College, which is our first year living learning community. That the academic backbone of that program is the complex problem seminar that is driven based off of different interests and different topics that the seminars are based on. These two specific programs are more intently based around specific interests and or either career paths or academic interests. So one focusing on that, cultural language immersion and exploration, and the other for students who are exploring what career paths or career opportunities they have for themselves. So they more intensely go into those topics generally with students who are having the same goals in mind.
Thank you. Any other questions? You can go ahead and drop in the Q&A section of Zoom.
Well, if any other questions do happen to come up as you're contemplating whether this program is right for you, you can feel free to email us at sophomore-LLCs@american.edu.
All right. Thank you everyone for attending tonight. We hope that you have a great little break here around Thanksgiving. And if you have any questions, you can email Ashley or New Student Family Programs can connect you with them. But have a great night. Thank you very much.